everyone, and I welcome you all to my channel. So for today I'm going to be making a simple video on how to cut a jumpsuit. Now a jumpsuit is one of the most requested topics on this channel, and so today I decided to make a simple video on how to cut a jumpsuit. If this is the first time of coming to my channel, thanks a lot, and for my subscribers, thanks a lot. You guys are actually amazing. So for today I'm going to be making a simple video on how to cut a jumpsuit. So before I move on, I would love to show you guys my outfits for today. So this is just like a cape. This is a cape, then it has an off shoulder. I don't know if you guys can see it. It's just like a top that has off shoulder with a cape. So if you want me to make a simple video on this, just put it down below at the description bar. And don't forget to feel free to drop your questions, topics you love us to treat, and we are always available. So I love you guys to join me on Facebook. Sewing is Fun by TG Designs. Make sure you include your TG Designs when searching for us on Facebook. I'm going to leave down all the details down below at the description bar. So jumpsuit is very easy. So the first thing you have in a jumpsuit is the upper part is like a top, while from your waist down becomes a trousers. Okay, so basically what are the basic measurements required for this jumpsuit? So this is my shoulder measurement, bust measurement, waist measurements, and our top length. Don't forget I said that for a jumpsuit, from the upper part to your waist is like a top, while from your waist down is like a trousers. So can we say a jumpsuit simply means addition of a top and a trousers to give us a jumpsuit? So now let's move to the calculation. So our shoulder is 14 inches divided by 2, we have 7 inches, plus half inches for our joining allowance, so we have 7.5 inches. We have a lot of calculations to date. So our bust measurement is 38. 38 divided by 4, we have 9 inches, plus 2 inches sewing allowance, we have 11 inches. Our waist divided by 4 is 8 inches, plus 2 inches for our sewing allowance, we have 10 inches. Our top length is 18 plus 1 inch. Why am I adding 1 inch? We are going to attach the trousers to it, and they are also going to join it at the shoulder level. So plus 1 inch, we have a total of 19 inches. So this is for the top. Now let's move to the trousers. Our trouser length is 30. Our trouser waist rather is 32. So we just say 32 divided by 4, we have 8, plus 2 inches, we have 10 inches. Our hip divided by 4, we have 9, plus 2 inches, we have, this is 11.5. So we have 11.5 here. So we have 11 inches. So our trouser length is 22, plus 2 inches, we have 24. So we also have our trouser lap. So our trouser lap is 24 divided by 2. Your trouser lap is always divided by 2. So we have 12 inches plus 2 inches sewing allowance, we have 14 inches. Now for us to get our flap or our cross measurement, it simply means our waist divided by 4 plus 2.5. Now I'll advise you guys to watch my video on how to make a trousers. Okay, that was where I explained basically how to get your flap measurements, how to cut your trousers. So I'm going to link that down below at the description bar. So our flap measurements, we said our flap is our hip. So our hip is what? 36. 36 divided by 4, we have 9, plus 2.5 inches, so we are going to have 11.5 inches for our flap measurements. Now if you find this video very educative and very informative, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, like, share, subscribe. And if you are not clear with any calculations, just put down your questions down below, and I'm always at the comment section, trust me. So now let's move to the fabric. So this is the fabric we are making use of. Look at it, we have African print. This is actually beautiful. Now don't forget I told you guys that we have African print available at our store, and we ship nationwide. Okay, so you could purchase your fabric with us. And so the first thing we are going to cut is the top measurement, the top. So let's start from the top. So the first thing we have to do is to fold our fabrics into 4. So we folded our fabrics into 4. Now you can see that I left about 2 inches at this point. So basically this 2 inches we left at this point is for our zip allowance. Okay, so now let's take our basic measurements. So our top length is 19 inches. Okay, I hope you guys can see it. Okay, that's good. Our top length is 19 inches. I'm only pressing the chalk because I want you guys to see it. So when you are cutting, you don't need to paint your fabric like this. So now let's take our shoulder measurement. Our shoulder measurement is 7.5 inches. So I'm going to mark my 7.5 inches. My armhole is 9 inches. Now, how will you get your armhole? I will advise you guys to watch my previous video on how to take your body measurements. That was why I explained distance from your bust to your waist, from your waist to your hip, new length and all of that. So I'm going to link that down below at the description bar also. So now let's take our bust measurement. So our bust measurement is 11.5 inches. This is where we have 11.5 inches, and our waist measurement is 10 inches. So this is where we have 10 inches. So I'm just going to connect the lines together. Now don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe on our channel and join us on Facebook. Sewing is fun. So I'm going to get my neckline. So my neckline, I'm going to make it of about 3 inches by 5 inches. So for the neckline, it depends on what you actually want. So don't forget to take away your 1 inch for your shoulder slant. Now for the upper part of the dress, it actually depends on what you want. Okay, now for the upper part, you could make yours to have like a princess dance, you could make yours to have a bustier, you could make yours to have a normal dance. So if you want yours to have like a bustier, I have a simple video on how to cut a bustier, so that's going to help you out. If you want yours to have a princess dance, I have a video on how to cut a princess dance. So I'm not going to show those process. I'm not going to decide which one I want on the front, because either for the bustier or for the princess that I have the video already. So I'm just going to cut this out. So basically this is like a simple top. So I'm going to cut this out and show you guys what it looks like. So after cutting this out, this is what we are going to have for the basic top. So you could decide what you want for the top. You could decide what you want for the top actually. So we are done with this. This is for the upper part. Then we are also going to attach our sleeve to it. Now, so for the trousers, that is for the trousers now. So the first thing we have to do is to cut the front panel of the trousers. Now, so the first thing we are going to take note of is that when you want to get your flap measurements, it actually depends on where you want your flap measurements to fall. So some people put their flap measurements at this open edge, while some make use of it at the closed edge. So I think basically wherever you're marking yours is going to give you the same results. It just depends on how you are able to manage your fabric basically. So like I said, I'll advise you guys to watch my video on how to cut a trousers in case if you are not clear with this part of the video. So now we are going to take our waist measurement. Our waist measurement is 10 inches. So I have 10 inches at this point. Now for us to get our flap measurement, now our flap measurement is 11.5 inches, right? Now you know we are going to add 1 inch to it. Why are we adding 1 inch to it? Because we are going to join these trousers to this basic top. We are going to attach these trousers to this basic top. So we have 11.5 inches plus 1 inch. We have 12.5 inches. So by the time we attach 1 inch with this, we also have our 11.5 inches. So this is where we have 12.5 inches. Now, so this is where we marked for our waist measurement. This is where we marked for our flap measurement, right? Now, before you draw your flap measurements, make sure that you have your hip measurement falls within this line. Do you understand? Like, don't make use of your waist measurement just to draw it, because some of us have smaller waist while we have a very big hips. It's actually depends. So make sure that you are able to get the measurement of your hip before you draw out your your flap measurement. So if you find this video very educative and very informative, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, like, share, subscribe. Feel free to drop your questions down below, your topics you love us to treat, and we are going to do that. So now my hip measurement is 11 inches. So you can see that I have 11 inches. I have 11 inches where I also have, this is my 11 inches, so I can draw my flap measurement. But let's say for somebody that has a very big hips, so let's assume that somebody hips is about 14 inches. Let's assume that is about 14 inches. So this is where you have your 14 inches. So for you to draw your flap, you are going to adjust your flap measurements like this. You are going to draw it like this. That is, you are going to adjust this your waist measurement. Do you understand? Because when you draw your flap with this waist measurement, the person will not have a hip, definitely, or the hip is going to be tight. So you just adjust it to where you have your hip measurement. So after cutting, when you're about to join it together, then you now shape out the waist measurement. Do you understand that? So but for me, my hip falls within this area 11 inches, so I'm good to go. I just draw my flap. I don't have a big back side, so it's easier for us. But for those of you that have a big back side, you just move it with this your hip measurement, then your flap comes like this. Very simple. So now let's move to our round lap. So my round lap is 12 inches. Okay, 14 inches. My round lap is 14 inches. So I mark my 14 inches this way, and my trouser length is 24 inches. I want it to be like a 3/4. I don't want it to be very long. Yep, I don't want it to be very long. So I'm just going to connect my lines together. So this is for the front part. So I'm going to cut this out now and show you guys what it actually looks like. So while I'm cutting this out, if you've gained a lot from this video, please just encourage us by, click on that like button, subscribe, ask your questions. It makes me know that, okay, people are really understanding what I'm putting out there. Okay, so it's not going to look like I'm just talking to the camera, nobody understands me. So you can join us for our online classes. We have online classes, so I'm going to put the details down below at the description bar. So this is it now. So I'm supposed to open this up, but I want to use this to cut the back panel before I open it up. So I'm going to fold my back panel and use this to cut it out before I open it up. So for you to get your back panel, you have to fold your front panel, like place your front panel on your back panel, then you have to leave extra inches. Okay, so now I'm going to mark, this is my front panel, so I just placed it on this. So I'm going to mark for this flap measurement, make use of 3 inches. Basically, it depends on how fat the person is. So when you are dealing with a client that is very fat, like when you are dealing with a client that is very fat, like extra, you know what I mean by extra? Like for those people that have very big backside, you could make use of 4 inches. So it depends on who you're actually working with. So for someone like me, size 8, so I can make use of 2.5 inches, 3 inches. So it depends. So I'm just going to make use of 2.5 inches. For me is okay. So I'm going to mark 2.5 inches. 2.5 inches. Now if you observe, the inches for the back measurement is longer than the front measurement. Now look at where the front panel stops. This is the back panel, so you have to leave about 2 inches above, 2 inches, 2.5 inches above. Why? Because of the space for the buttocks for the back side. So this is where I have my 2.5 inches. So I'm going to mark my 2.5 inches all the way down. So this is where the flap started from, right? So I'm going to extend the line. So this is going to be my new flap measurement for the front panel. I don't know if you guys understand this. I just placed my front panel, my back panel, and I marked about 2.5 inches. So it depends on the clients you are working with. If you are fat, 3 inches. If you are very fat, 3.5. If your back size is very big, 4 inches. So but for me 2.5 is okay. So I'm also going to add allowance to this part. So I'm just going to add 2 inches allowance. Now so the more I move down, I'm going to reduce it. The more you move down, so let's say you started with 3 inches at this point, so you have 3 inches. Make sure at this flap point exactly you also have your 3 inches. So when you mark your 3 inches around this point, making sure that this point you also have your 3 inches. So you come down with 2.5, 2.5, 2 inches, 1.5 inches, it depends. So I'm just going to connect the lines together. So please don't forget to join us on Facebook. Sewing is Fun by TD Designs. You can join us for our online classes. We have online classes and our students are doing amazingly well. Okay, so I'm going to link that down below at the description bar. So this is for the up panel. This is for the up panel. So this is what you have for the up panel. So you just slant it up a little. Just slant it up a little because of the back side. So what I'm going to do now basically is I'm going to open them up, because while you want to join them you have to open them up. Okay, so this is the front, this is the back panel. So in order for you not to make mistake, you can just mark it so you know which one is the back panel. But basically the back panel is always bigger than the front panel, so it's very easy. So we have this for a leg and we have this for the second leg. So I'm going to see you guys at the sewing room. So don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, like, share, subscribe. I'm sure you've learned a lot from this video. So don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Join us on our online class. I'm going to put down the details down below. Don't forget to shop for fabrics with us at our store. Don't forget to join us for our online classes, and I'll see you guys at the sewing room. So jumpsuit is very easy, and I hope you guys will be able to rock your beautiful and amazing jumpsuits after watching this video. So I'll see you guys in the sewing room. Bye.